What's going on, guys? Back at again with a brand new video. In today's video, okay, we're going to cover a lot of things that have been going on quickly, but what we are going to be exploring is the top 5 cryptos you need to invest in March, depending on everything that's been going on. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. So as you guys might know, okay, so Trump has announced a Bitcoin strategic reserve, but not only that, he announced that other cryptos would be included in the reserve as well, okay? So one thing that dictates these cryptos is that most of these cryptos are US based because he's going to want to push US based and US tax paying cryptos, okay? So a lot of them on this list are US based, but some are not, and there is a specific reason as to why I'm talking about them. So the first coin is none other than Ethereum, okay? So Ethereum has been announced to be, that it is going to be used in the Bitcoin strategic reserve, right? So it's going to be a stockpile. So that means that basically the government is not necessarily going to buy Ethereum as we know of now, and they're not going to necessarily buy these cryptos, but they will be accumulating them every time they get them. So every time they, for example, find a drug lord with 1,000 ETH, instead of selling it on the market, they're actually going to be keeping it. So it's a stockpile, not necessarily they're going to buy more. So if we look at the Ethereum chart, we're going to keep it very simple. If we draw the Fib retracement, we'll see that right now Ethereum is sitting about the Fibonacci golden pocket, which is at 0.618, the most important retracement. So we're right under it. We're actually almost smack dab on it. So if we're able to bounce off of it, it is very possible that we start seeing a continuation upwards. I don't think Ethereum is done. I don't think the bull market is done. But again, do your financial due diligence. I personally do not think it's over, not even by a long shot. Now, the second coin we're going to talk about is none other than XRP. So the reason why XRP is, firstly, what is XRP? XRP allows for cross-border payments. So it's a very scalable, cheap coin that would allow you to buy things. They believe it's to be the future of payment gateways overseas. So you pay very little fees. It's instant. So if you want to pay for things cross-border, XRP is the solution that they are saying it is, right? And so XRP was actually mentioned by Trump that it would play an important role in the Bitcoin reserve and in crypto for America. So that is also why I have mentioned it. Now, I've been a hater for a long time I've been a hater of XRP for a very long time. I mean, it's been so dead for so long, but all of a sudden we have this massive spike. Okay, is it luck? Maybe there's a lot more behind it, right? So actually, if we look at the retracement, we bounced off the 0.5 retracement, and now we are hovering above it, right? So if we see a close daily or ideally weekly close above the 0.382, sitting at $2.295, then there is most likely continuation to be done upwards, okay? Now, the next one we're going to go into is Solana. So Solana is essentially just layer one that has been doing very well this bull market. A lot of the meme coins that went parabolic, a lot of these cryptos were built on Solana layer one, okay? So that is why, and that is not necessarily just why Solana is mentioned. It has also been mentioned by Trump before and by the government. And yeah, it's just a very cheap layer one, and there's a lot of hype over it, right? The team is very good. They have survived the whole FTX thing, and they were in cahoots with Sam Bankman-Fried, but they actually came out of it on the good side. So Solana, I think, is one either way that's here to stay. If we look at it, it dropped below the 0.5 retracement. Now, I think it's possible that we go to 0.618 and then potentially bounce off this very important retracement. Now, it is possible that here we start gliding back up because I think that the market has overreacted. I think the sell-off doesn't really make a lot of sense because the reserve is coming. So I think it's not done. I don't think the bull market is done. Now, this is your prerogative. I have personally taken out my altcoins, most of my altcoins recently, but I'm looking to get back in for this March. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is ADA. Now, ADA is another layer one, but the reason why ADA has been getting so much attention is actually because the owner, Charles Hoskinson, has publicly said that he will be helping the U.S. government with crypto legislation. So making sure crypto is safe, making sure that there's good laws surrounding it. And so ever since he said that, basically we've seen a massive pump. Okay, so there is strong interest for ADA because there is the owner is in cahoots with Trump and the governments, right? So everywhere attention goes, money follows, right? So every time you see attention is currency in crypto, right? So whatever is going to have the most attention, like for example, the owner working with Trump and the government, that's going to bring a lot of eyes on a certain project, therefore ADA, right? And so it's going to pump to the upside, theoretically. Now, the thing that I find ADA, I think, is actually in a pretty buy area right now because we saw this big pump and we dropped back down. Now, if we take the fib retracement, right now we're just under the 0.5, but we've bounced off the 0.618 twice, right? Now, what I think is why I think this is a very good buying zone too is because right now we're within the last swing highs, right? So this is a very strong area of support as we can see these strong wicks. This is a very good area to buy in my opinion, okay? Now, if this bull market were to continue, I believe ADA could go all the way back up to the previous $100. Now, this is very possible, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. Now, the last one is a US-based crypto, and it is one that isn't necessarily mentioned by Trump or by the government, right? But I think this one has a lot of merit, and I don't think it's over, and I've mentioned it previously in my videos, and this is none other than Render. Okay, so Render, either two things are true. Either Render is never coming back up, or on the flip side, it is the most buy you could ever get. You cannot get cheaper. This is an ideal buy. Now, you are going to be the judge of this, but let me explain to you why I believe in Render. Firstly, Render is a US-based company. Secondly, Render is an AI crypto, and we all know that Trump has made basically a 500 million investments from the US government in projecting AI, right? So I think AI is still going to be at the forefront of crypto as well. Right now, it might be very, very undervalued. A lot of people think AI is a bubble. It is not a bubble. Okay, it's stupid to say it's a bubble. There was a bubble, parts of it, right? AI did very good when there was somewhat of a bubble, but AI is here to stay. And what Render does is absolutely and utterly incredible. What they do is basically they take the rendering power of computers and are able to make animation based on people that are on the blockchain, giving away their GPU and CPU power to render basically animations for people who pay a fee and render. Absolutely groundbreaking. It's besides crypto apart, this is a project that is super, super interesting, and it's US based. And right now, I think it's dirt cheap. Right now, we're at the 0.236. Now, we are at the previous swing high over here, a tiny bit under it. So I think right now it's actually a good buy, but this is not financial advice. Do your own due diligence. But if you want to get into Render, now is not necessarily a bad time to get in. At one point, we were blowing off, and I was saying, okay, right now it's going to start probably melting down. It was going too hard. Now, hope you guys like the video. Subscribe if you haven't. Comment down below your favorite altcoin for this March. Which one do you think is going to the moon? Do you think Trump is crashing Bitcoin to the ground? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think we're going to become millionaires? Do you think we're all going to become broke and this whole bull market has been nothing but a psyop to destroy our hope? I don't believe that is the case. What do you think? See you guys in the next one. Peace.